You might like to be able to see Mark 15. They mocked Jesus by calling him a king. The soldiers dressed him in a purple robe, pressed a crown of thorns upon his head, called out to him, "Hail, King of the Jews!" fell on their knees and paid mock homage to him. Clearly, they didn't actually think he was a king. Pontius Pilate, the written notice of the charge against him, what this man has done wrong to deserve execution, the King of the Jews. Clearly, he didn't actually think Jesus was a king. If he was a king, he would be bowed down to, obeyed, not executed. The religious leaders, in the same way, the chief priests and the teachers of the law mocked him among themselves. He saved others, they said, but he can't save himself. Let this Messiah, this King of Israel, come down now from the cross that we may see and believe. You're no king. If you were, you would come down. As Jesus hangs on the cross, everybody there that day, the soldiers, Pilate, the religious leaders, we know elsewhere, the passers-by, those crucified with him, they put a label on him, king. And they think it's the funniest joke in town. Yet here's the thing. If they looked more closely, they would see they had got the label right. The hope for a king, the hope of a Messiah, came from King David, who ruled roughly 1,000 years before Jesus. David's prayers, the Psalms, kept that hope alive, listening in to the prayers of the kind of king who would come. Psalm 69, verse 21, "They put gall in my food and gave me vinegar for my thirst." Mark 15, verse 23, "Then they offered him wine mixed with myrrh." Psalm 22, verse 18, "They divided my clothes among them and cast lots for my garment." Mark 15, verse 24, "Dividing up his clothes, they cast lots to see what each would get." Psalm 22, verse 7, "All who see me mock me. They hurl insults, shaking their heads. He trusts in the Lord," they say. "Let the Lord rescue him." Mark 15, verse 29, "Those who passed by hurled insults at him, shaking their heads. He saved others, but he can't save himself." Far from being a joke, what happens to him makes him the perfect fit for a king. So as you look at Jesus with eyes of faith, nailed to the cross, and as you look at the label they applied, King of the Jews, don't see a joke, see a perfect fit. This is the kind of king we have. A king whose loyalty to his subjects extends to laying down his own life. A king who had to choose between saving others and saving himself. So saved us and sacrificed himself. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain to receive power and wealth and wisdom and strength and honor and glory and power. Amen.